So the class of 2023 gave us so much in terms of exciting storylines and awesome recruiting battles to watch, and personally, I think the class of 2024 is only going to build off of that, and one such recruiting battle we have got to keep our eye on is about to come to a head sooner rather than later, as four-star safety Aaron Flowers out the state of Texas is set to make his collegiate decision within the next week, and this is a battle that has crystal ball predictions inserted both in favor of the Oklahoma Sooners and the USC Trojans, something we have got to break down, but we also need to talk about some of the other teams involved. Before we can, as always, y'all know the drill, I have got to hear from you. Hop down to the comments, give me a Y for yes or an N for no. Do you believe that Aaron Flowers plays his college ball for USC, given the last crystal ball prediction was in favor of the Trojans? And let me know what you're thinking. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Hit that bell notification as I do constant college football content. You don't want to miss any of it. And if you enjoyed this content, be sure to like and comment down below. Those interactions seem small, but they are massive to content creators such as myself, and we're on a push to 20,000 subscribers. I'd love to have you a part of this unbelievable community. But having said all that, let's jump right into this. And as I stated in the intro, Aaron Flowers is a top safety in the class of 2024, a four-star prospect, and a top 200 player in all of high school football. Specifically, he ranks as the number 133 player overall, regardless of position per 24/7 Sports Composite, the number 10 safety in the nation, and a top 25 player in the state of Texas, a state absolutely loaded with talent year in, year out. He plays his high school football at Forney, and when you turn on the tape, there is a lot to be excited about. This is the type of safety that can pretty much well get you covered in every aspect of the game, which makes complete sense when you look at all the teams vying for his commitment. And as I also stated, there are two crystal ball predictions inserted in this recruiting battle, one for the Oklahoma Sooners and one for the USC Trojans. And if you've been around the channel for any extended period of time, one thing you may have heard me talk about, I love these recruiting battles where there's more on the line. Whenever bitter rivals such as Oklahoma and Texas go head-to-head for the same prospect, whenever Michigan and Ohio State, Alabama, Auburn go head-to-head for the same prospect, sign me up. There's something on the line here more than just the commitment. And so too it seems like when USC and Oklahoma are going head-to-head on prospects right now, seems a little bit more personal than just recruiting, as both institutions are trying to recapture their place atop college football. So this is a battle I'm really interested in. There's a crystal ball prediction for the Oklahoma Sooners, there's a crystal ball prediction for the USC Trojans, but it is important to note that the latest crystal ball prediction is in favor of the Trojans. And one thing we need to talk about whenever we're talking about USC, and specifically that secondary, Dante Williams was a great retention by Lincoln Riley. This was something we talked about at length whenever Lincoln Riley was named head coach at USC. I was really interested what he would do with Coach Williams. If he retained Coach Williams, I thought they had a really good shot at retaining some very talented players and even being successful in recruiting defensive guys to that secondary. If they didn't retain Williams, don't get me wrong, there are still other options out there, but I thought it would have been a mistake. So now fast forwarding, I thought it was great that Williams was retained, and he could pay off massively in this recruiting battle. But so too for the Oklahoma Sooners, we have got to talk about Brandon Hall, someone who has been ferocious on the recruiting trail, just getting the Oklahoma Sooners a 5-star safety in Peyton Bowen out the state of Texas. And we know Oklahoma is going to be camped out in the state of Texas. Heck, we know all of these institutions are going to be camped out in the state of Texas, USC as well, which makes this battle even more interesting. But as I told you in the intro, there is a third team we need to watch out for, because as I was looking at Aaron Flowers' profile, I noticed he took an unofficial visit here recently to the Alabama Crimson Tide, a visit per reports he very much well enjoyed. So do I believe that it's enough to shake up this battle and ultimately take it away from either the Oklahoma Sooners or the USC Trojans? Probably not, but one thing we all need to recognize, it is Alabama. There are certain teams that when they step up to the plate in these recruiting battles, you sit up a little bit. Even if you feel like you're in great position, you still straighten up because you're like, hey, if there was ever a team that could flip a prospect from us, it's them. Ohio State, Georgia, Alabama, these are just institutions that recruit at the highest level in college football. But it is good to note that both USC and Oklahoma are really far ahead in laying the groundwork on the relationship, something that is so massive whenever we talk about recruiting. This is a big prospect to any of these institutions, whether it's USC, Alabama, or Oklahoma. For USC, we talk about it all the time. Defensive recruiting has got to be a priority. I have no doubt that USC is always going to recruit well, especially with Lincoln Riley being there. You look at the guys that want to go play football for him, especially on the offensive side of the ball. It's compelling. If the defensive recruiting starts matching the offensive recruiting for USC, everybody needs to watch out because they are going to be a dangerous team. And if they go out there this year and trot out a defense that is improving, doesn't have to be a top 20 defense in the nation, but it is improving, people are going to have to start taking notice. I'm really excited to see the future of all of these institutions. Whether Aaron Flowers chooses Oklahoma, USC, or Alabama, it is going to be interesting to see, but I do think it's compelling that the latest crystal ball inserted is in favor of the USC Trojans. I can't wait to hear from all of you. Hop down to the comments, let me know what you're thinking. That's it. See ya.